Hello and welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. It is currently Monday. It is a very gloomy and overcast day and I am about to start work. But this week will be quite intense and stressful. So I currently have 5 days to get ready to fly out to a conference that is happening next week for the full week, and I am totally unprepared. And I do everything in my power to procrastinate. I do everything in my power to just not think about it, and that means also not getting my ducks in a row at all. But yeah, I'm not really a normal procrastinator. I think it's more of a feeling like I don't really want to go, but I have to go because it's work and we have to do a lot of things that we don't like to do. But I think it's just my deflection and just kind of living in denial. So I think I will spend my time doing a lot of side quests this week, just to get my mind off it. I think it's my internal need to get my mind away from the feeling of stress and anxiety and absolute kind of doom and gloom about it. It's nothing. It's not bad. It's normally a lovely week, but it will be my first time going on a business trip in the last 2 years. So I used to do this conference specifically every year. And then in 2014, my husband was going through quite intense treatment, so I couldn't just go because he wouldn't have anyone to support him. So I excused myself, and it was understandable. The business got it and I was fine. So I didn't go. And then the following year in 2025, I didn't go because I changed teams. So I was no longer required to go. And this year I shouldn't be required either, but because we had a change in teams, I have a new role, I'm going. So I hope this week's video won't be just me in absolute panic. It probably will. You'll obviously feel me being a little bit anxious, a little bit on my toes. But yeah, I'm hoping to cook myself some lovely meal this evening. Just something to have, like, home cooked and heartwarming for the rest of the week, and also to put maybe a portion or two in the freezer. So I have something, ready to go when I come back, because I'm flying back on Friday, and actually Thursday, but it will be Friday UK time, and I'll be arriving home, not to the airport, but actually home really late. So I won't have an energy or even time to go to the shops. So it would be nice to have just something to pull out of the freezer and have something home cooked. And I don't know if it's just me, but I do love going to restaurants and tasting different foods. As you know, I'm not a food motivated person, but if I do go out, I want something extraordinary. And normally people would be really exciting to eat in different restaurants and hotels for the whole week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all of it. But after a while, it's just the food just becomes so indulgent that you want to have the kind of heartwarming, simple meal that you normally get at home. I don't know if it's just me, maybe it is, but yeah, after just eating basically meal that you order that is quite high in fat, high in salt, a lot of flavors, you just want something pared back and simple and fresh. So yeah, I'm probably going to make some meal. And also, I don't know when, but depending on weather, I would like to also paint the front of the house. I hope there will be some kind of break from the rain, but yeah, I want to paint like the brickwork. There's like a little bit of chipping. Like I would say I paint it like every 3 years, so it's definitely due another coat. And there is like a one front step that I paint every single spring, and I'm already behind the schedule on that one. So I am thinking of doing that. So these are my like 2 tasks for this week, all about like analog hobbies now. So something analog, something that switches me off from any screens, especially laptops, and I can focus on something wholesome and lovely. It's the next day. It's the next day, and I was watching back what I said yesterday, and I just wanted to clarify a few things. It's not that I am procrastinating on prep for the conference. Obviously, when it comes to the work side of things, I am heavily involved. I am prepping for a few presentations, and so I'll be sitting on 2 large presentations to the wider group, and also I'll be sitting on a panel. So I am doing my due diligence on that side of things, but that means in my personal life, I don't want to think about going to the conference. Just to prove you that I'm not completely useless and unprepared, I just wanted to share what the current state of my study is. So this is it. Somewhere around here is my large suitcase. It is a soft shell suitcase. I prefer it. It's Eastpak. They are very durable. They are amazingly light when they're empty, but they also can extend or collapse according to how much stuff you need. And then anything and everything that just passed through my head. So there's already some toiletries and bits and bobs. There's loads of clothes, and yeah. Obviously, this is not the final stage of anything, but yeah, that's the level of preparedness when it comes to my personal side of the trip. So I've changed my mind. I think all of the pressure just kind of started bubbling up a little bit. So I think it's time to get packing, at least to get stuff in, tick it off, and not think about it ever again. So I have my trusty list. So I have a list, kind of a generic PDF that I have in my phone. And then I go through it and I type it down, all the things that are like relevant, seasonal, etc. So I never forget anything, fingers crossed. So obviously last minute things like laptops, chargers, phones, all of these kind of things need to be pending. but there is no reason why most of the clothes can't go in. And other bits and bobs that are relevant only to business trips. So I'll go through a few things with you, but mostly packing for business is slightly different than packing for personal use. So in my case, because it's a conference, there is a lot of outfit changes. I don't know if men have the same problem, but as women, we just need so many outfit changes. So I will have a day and a half to myself when I am in the location, so I can do whatever I want, but it's extreme heat temperature. It's in the desert, so we are in like a 40s, high, literally just like above 40 degrees Celsius every day. Quite dry heat, way much better than when I went to conference in New Orleans in June. It was very sticky this time, not so sticky, just dry heat. But yeah, it limits like what you want to do with the jet lag. Like, do you really want to go anywhere? Do you want to explore anything? So I need some kind of like casual outfit, but you still need to look put together. I am not a person that would wear leggings or kind of a casual wear in front of my colleagues, because it is a resort hotel, so there will be other guests, but 600 plus people is coming that I will have some kind of connection to. So you need to be more presentable than normal. So I have to have like a casual wear, but then I also need more polished wear. So I have kind of like a welcome drinks cocktail thing. The first night I need dress, I need heels. Era of me wearing high heels, like a high court shoes and other kind of high heels to work is over. It's fully over. I've been working remotely since 2017. However, for any travel around the UK, abroad, anywhere, I was always wearing high heels for the office engagement. But that is fully done and dusted. So for cocktail hour, I'm just wearing sandals with like a little tiny block heel, and it will do. And for the kind of official conference part, I just wear my loafers. So they're just very comfy. You can't go wrong with loafers. So that there is also the component of the actual conference. So you need a proper office outfit. So, skirts, dresses, pencil trousers, blazers, tights, all of these kind of like very muted, boring black outfits, mostly black outfits. So that's kind of the portion, but every evening there is some kind of entertainment. So then you need to be like according to activity, either more casual. I think we have one night dinner and kind of like we're going to Putting World, which I think is like a indoor mini golf place. So you need something put together, but also for activity. Or we have more of a really more like a normal dinner in a restaurant. So I need like a casual but put together outfit for that night. Luckily, I'm not going to the gala dinner. I used to go, but in my current role, it's not relevant to me. So I'm taking the opportunity to fly out early. So on the night when everyone else is going to gala dinner, I am already on a red-eye flight back home. So escape that. But I used to do that. You need a proper kind of almost not necessarily full black tie, but it can go that way for many people. So you need to pack that. However, I don't have to. So as you can see, there's a lot of clothing. Like I would never pack. I'm quite a minimalist when I travel, especially if I was traveling anywhere as like for pleasure. and there was 40 degrees plus, I would never pack so many outfits. But because we're spending most of the time indoors in a very air-conditioned areas, I'll need not only kind of so many different outfits, but also layers. So always blazers. I have cardigan with me. I'm thinking of taking scarf, because I've been to hotels where they were absolutely freezing inside the kind of actual rooms where we have the breakout sessions, plenaries, etc. So yeah, I don't want to be freezing because it's uncomfortable for so many hours. So yeah, it's a lot of clothing, which I would never do, but I have to. And then it's also things like obviously toiletries and all of that, but you need to take your laptop, so you need a proper big bag, because you will be carrying it from session to session. Because I am going into a very polished area, what I always do the first day when I come, like I go out, I explore, I go for lunch or for meals, but I try to spend some time in the hotel room the first day, just to get myself completely set out for the full week. So I often unpack all of the clothes that need to be unpacked. I use a roller on them. So, if you have a pet, it's good to arrive into neutral area, like a hotel room, unpack everything and get everything, bits of hair removed by a lint remover. So I'm not taking the whole pack. I just bought a new one because mine was broken. But I'll take one roll with me, and I will be ironing everything, so it's all polished and ready to go. So that's my kind of routine on the first day. So I feel like I don't have to think about it on the days when I'm actually doing something important. And then, you need, obviously, I'm going to the US, so I take my kind of brick that gets me to every single, it's very clever, it gets you to all worldwide connectors to your plugs. I am determined to beat the jet lag. A lot of my colleagues take melatonin. I don't really mess around with hormones. I find them dysregulating, and you're kind of tricking your body a little bit, and I don't want to do that. I'm not willing to do that. Yes, like obviously you can't get melatonin over the counter in the UK or Europe, because there's no kind of strong evidence of function, and for the ones that do function, you need a prescription from doctors. So a lot of my colleagues buy them in the US over the counter and use them. I don't want to do that. What I do instead, I load up on, like when I'm traveling, and then the first day post-travel. So I'm traveling Saturday, and on Sunday when I'm there, those 2 days I'll be really focusing on getting my magnesium levels up. So I have this effervescent magnesium because I once had a massive, I flew to LA for work, and the second night I had a massive cramp, to the point that the next day I woke up and there was that big of a bruise on my calf. It looked horrendous. It looked like I was just hit by a football. I'm trying to load up on magnesium on the day of travel and the first day there, and the same for electrolytes. Just using 1 or 2 tablets during the flight especially, and then when I arrive there, and then on the way back, because I feel like they're unnecessary in daily use. Most people don't need them unless you are a very high level athlete, or you have a really crappy diet. You don't need them. But for the travel, I'm trying to just kind of not be dehydrated and just kind of help my body to function as much as possible, avoid headaches, because I'm prone to headaches. So yeah, these are kind of like a little bits that I take. Obviously, things like, like I said, scarves. Like, who needs scarf when it's 40 degrees plus? Like, no one, but I do. It's a resort, so I'm taking swim costume. As every time I take a swim costume, and I never use it because I don't feel comfortable to walk around in my bathing suit in front of my colleagues. I feel like it's inappropriate time to do that. But this is a resort space, so yeah, if I maybe in the morning, if I can like beat the crowd, I might go for a dip. But it's a small thing, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't get used. Honestly, like, you're using a lot of uncomfortable shoes, like the sandals that you never use, but you use them only with dresses, or your work loafers that you never use because you work from home. We all know. So it's a lot of stuff that I would normally, like, for pleasure, never take. It's just it's not me. I am capable of going to let's say Greece for a week with like a carry-on suitcase, but yeah, this is a different story, and it's a 11-hour flight. It would be very uncomfortable. I never use this because it's very bulky and annoying. But 11-hour flight, or I once did 13-hour flight for work, especially when you need to be on form immediately the next day. Yeah, take it. Take anything that can help you. So yeah, and then like I feel like, I don't know, is it just me, or is it some of you as well? I am quite fair. You can see I am a ginger. I have a lot of freckles. I am very, like, the definition of fair. But people still have the stupid or sometimes silly comments of like, oh, top up on your tan, you're very white, or you're so like translucent, you should do something about it. Or when you're covering up, like I even take, for example, this is inside out, but like on one day I'm thinking of taking this. Obviously it's not ironed, there's no point ironing it now, but like floaty, very like cotton / linen blend, but like full sleeve kind of outfits where I'm still covered, and people have stupid comments. But then at the same time, everyone is telling you how SPF is important, but then like when you are actually a fair person, people really make stupid comments. So I, for example, have this. I recommend to anyone. This is a company called Solbari. They're an Australian company. They do a lot of SPF body coverings, like anything and everything you can think of, from sleeves to kind of neck coverings to hats to kind of full body kind of suits, and it's fully SPF. So for example, this one, it's great because it's full SPF. It has this kind of wiring, kind of, so you can like position your hat whichever way you want, but also it's wide brimmed, so it covers my kind of like the back of my neck and top of my shoulders. And then for women, it also has this kind of nifty hole in the back where you can pull your ponytail through, and it's wonderful. Yeah, Solbari is really good company. So if you are someone who lives or visits a lot of hot places and you are very aware of melanomas in your family, like I am, I recommend them. And yeah, like a little bag, like you need so many things with you. So I'll start packing now so I can tick some things off and feel a bit more productive, because I kind of bullied myself into thinking that I'm behind a little bit. So I should do something. I still have 2 days to go. but I still need to prepare Finn. I need to pack him for boarding and his food. So yeah, it's not just me getting ready. So that's that. I don't like to boast. No, seriously. I don't like to claim that I am green-fingered by any means, because I'm definitely not. But I have a claim to fame. It's not a fame. Anyway, all of my plants in my home, so my internal indoor plants, are all just evergreen. They are not designed to bloom, all from cuttings. So my beautiful, I'll insert cutaways so you can see my beautiful money plants. They were from little baby that my mother-in-law gave me because when I was in hers, a little bit fell off, and I said, can I have it? And she gave it to me, and I propagated it, and now I have basically 3 massive bushes. I also, similarly from hers, I got a snake plant. I have 2, they're quite big, and they kind of constantly are throwing like little babies that I often cut off just to bring the energy back to the plant. And then I have 1 palm kind of little thing that is from B&Q. That's the only one that I actually bought, or my husband bought. And then I have aloes. So when I used to live in London, my friend had little aloe in her kitchen. Not aloe vera. It's I can't remember the name. I would have to Google it, but she had a little aloe in her kitchen, and it had a little side baby, as aloes often do. They kind of grow a little babies on the side. So I pulled it out and I planted it. And since then, I have now 6 because I love them. They're so unassuming, not taking too much space. And many people just have the aloes. But my claim to fame is that every year around this time, so end of spring, beginning of summer, so kind of mid-May to late May, they start blooming, all of them. And then so a couple of years ago, I want to say 4 years ago, they bloomed for the first time. And I was shocked. I didn't know that aloes do that. Obviously, why not? But I didn't know, so I was completely shocked. And since then, they had 2 seasons when they bloomed once, but in the past 2 years, they're blooming twice in a year. So they're blooming now, kind of late May, and then they're blooming before autumn kicks in, so like end of September. Every year, and it's wonderful, and you can see how it is a water preserving plant. So it kind of has an offshoot and these kind of like a bluebell type flowers, but they open one by one. So when the one is dying out, I can see like a little bit of a droplet. I think it's some kind of nectar, but it's basically preserving the water. So when the nectar comes down, it drops back to the plant and another bloom opens. It's wonderful how you imagine that nature just kind of made it up. So a plant that lives in areas where the water source is scarce, it has a system in place to preserve water. I absolutely love it. And I hope you're nice in the comments, because I'm really proud of it. I don't think many people know that aloes bloom. And oh my goodness, I nearly forgot to mention Wilhelm and Wilhelmina. They are the big yucca plants that I have. So Wilhelm is the one in the living room. It's the straight boy. We got him again from my mother-in-law. She had a massive yucca plant. Her flat she lived in London in a beautiful kind of a Victorian flat with massive ceilings. I think they were like 3.8 meters tall. And her yucca went all the way up to the ceiling and then it was bending down. How tall it was. It was ancient. It was probably 30 plus years old. And one kind of a baby, like a little branch, came down, and my husband saved it. He was there when it happened, so he saved it, brought it back to ours, and I planted it. And it was a little baby for so long. And then once we moved away from London, we got more space, so I planted it in a bigger pot. And since then, it's just growing. It's now taller than me. Mina is a yucca, this kind of like spindly and kind of twisty yucca that I've adopted maybe 3 years ago. It was a lady offering her on Free Cycle, saying that she had a baby and she doesn't have a time for it and it needs a little bit of TLC. So if anyone wants it, we're welcome to it. So I offered to adopt her and we repotted her, gave her time and kind of like straightened her a little bit so she can stand on her own. She was kind of falling with one weight, kind of pulled it down to the side. And she's now growing on her own. She's a bit wild and unruly and taking quite a lot of space. So she lives in my office behind me. So when I'm sitting at the desk, you can see her behind me. She's my kind of companion for all of my calls. That's my kind of evergreen family in my own home. That's it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I love chatting with you down in the comments section. And I will be back with another video next Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning, British time. Thank you for watching.